Hey man, UCA here. Thought today we'd show you how to do a breakdown on a gas operated shotgun. You know, breakdown and cleaning. This one hasn't been done in about 10 years, so buddy brought it in. He's not the best when it comes to cleaning. Mostly what he did was he would spray it down with WD-40, which I don't recommend, and case it up, wipe it down. So I'll show you guys basic shotgun breakdown. I've already got the stock loosened because that was a little bit of a fun time trying to get that. So we'll run through this, show you guys what to do. Of course, I like to start by breaking down the gun. And this is a Charles Daly. Nice gun. I mean, who knows how many thousands of rounds my buddy's put through this gun since he has it. It's about 12 years old. Just like any shotgun breakdown. You remove the forecap, end cap, and slide off the barrel. There you go. And we'll put these guys to the side. What we got next here, we're going to remove the bolt. Now on these guns, as like the 1100, Remington 1100, all you do is adjust the bolt here and the handle pops right out, which will then pop your bolt out. See how simple that was? And you'll see it on here. You've got a little bit of a mark right there where this slides in like so. And then it kind of falls right into place. So, can't get easier than that, taking apart your gun. We'll take out the spring. And remember, on these guns, you want to keep this tube, the operating tube right here, and the spring fairly clean of grease. He looks like he's got some grease on here, and yeah, it smells like WD-40. He was a big WD-40 fan. I know. Not the best thing in the world, but you know, the gun is all aluminum gun. It's got the great, looks like it's Parkerized. It's real rough, really rough finish. But like I said, these guns, this Charles Daly was made in Turkey, so it's a little bit of a rougher gun. Here's the bolt. We'll set all this aside. I'll show you how we treat all this. Now, as of any shotgun, we got the pad to remove. And like I said, I already, just so in the essence of time, loosened everything. Because I didn't have, looks like there's a hex head in the base of this that I didn't have, so I had to kind of jerry rig. See, the pad comes off. I had a jerry rig. See that? My own concoction, my own tool. This is just a, that's an actual hollow ground bit with a bunch of connectors on there, just so I could reach into the bottom. Alright, so we're going to remove the stock. Got my bit, and what I'm going to do is just kind of peer down into here while trying to position my bit in here. So I'm going to do this off camera, just so we can get this done without having any issues. And there, I've got it in, and here it comes. Alright, let me show you why this thing is just a little bit of a pain. Seeing the bit stuck into the bolt. Here's the bolt, and the way they've got the shotgun stuck out, set up. It's kind of, but anyway, see, hex head screw. So I just use a flathead to kind of put it in there because I don't have the correct bit for it. Well, I have it, but it just doesn't reach all the way into there. But every shotgun's different. So we removed that. We got our stock off. We'll put this guy back here for now. And now we're left with the receiver and good old-fashioned tube here. The tube, you could remove it. I removed it by hand, but there's tools you can get for it. Just depends on how stuck on it is. You can use break free or any kind of other tool. I'll do it by hand. And just be careful because you've got that spring which is in here under tension. And you just want to make sure that that does not go flying out across the room. There we go, see? And wow, yeah, that's dirty. That's pretty dirty. So we're going to have to wipe this spring down. We'll probably clean the tube out also. The tube looks pretty dirty too. Hey, you know what? Oh, and there's the plug. That's just the way it goes, you know. These guns are meant for shooting and not for playing, or just we don't want any We don't want any queens around here. You know, no safe queens. Alright, now we're left with the receiver. What I like to do with the receiver, and most shotguns, 99% of shotguns are the same, especially auto loaders. These two pins, they'll pop right out. Take. There you go. Boom, boom. And then what we're going to do, this guy doesn't want to come out. This guy's having a hard time wanting to come out. There we go. A little bit of coaxing and he's gone. Okay, now for this, basically what you want to do is just pull up and out straight. And you remove trigger group right here. You can see how nasty and dirty that looks. See? So yeah, it's got some grit. It's got a little bit of grime in there. These things right here, this mass-produced model, not made to be taken apart. You can kind of see if something happens to it, if it breaks. I mean, it's just really, it's nothing like a good old Remington, 870. Nothing like the 870 at all. Just nasty, dirty. There's the follower. If you know how shotguns work, when the bolt comes back, that just lifts up. Put your next round in, and then of course here's your hammer. Right there, as that comes out. See? So there's a hammer, the sear, trigger, all the good stuff. You see how dirty that is. But what I like to do, especially when something's that dirty, and put this, I already cleaned this guy out, scrubbed the heck out of him, and what I'll do is I use right here a little bit of soapy water, and you can see how dirty that is. You don't need harsh chemicals, a little soap. Actually, this is dishwashing soap, so just scrub it up, and he was having problems with the last round not loading on this gun, which is not good. I'm hoping it's just because of the dirt, how dirty it is. So we're going to clean it up first. Easiest thing to do. Clean it up, give it a go, see what happens. If it still does the same thing, I got a couple other ideas. But this is basically what you want to do to 99% of your shotguns, especially if you've never taken it apart. I know it might seem a little intimidating. Don't let it seem intimidating, because there's always people out there that'll help you. Especially you go to a gun club. This guy, I've known this guy from our local gun club for a while now. So after we give it a good scrub, we've always got your hot water bath here. Just rinse everything out. Give it a good rinse. And what I like to do, got some paper towels and give it a good dry, get some of the parts that I missed, kind of go through, check, make sure everything looks good. Make sure there's no pieces that look like they're missing or broke, or and then what I like to do is, especially when you got a part with all these little nooks and crannies in here, is take your compressed air and kind of just give it a blow. Compressed air is invaluable when it comes to little parts. Kind of just blows everything right off. And then you can hit this with a little bit of a light lube. I got a little bit here. I got a little bit of CLP, which I love CLP, and you can see where the metal to metal contact. Just kind of dab it a little bit on there. Just give it a little bit of a light oil, and that's all you're doing. Because wherever you see metal to metal contact, where there's worn areas, that's all you want to do. So we got your carrier down here, part of the carrier, and what we'll do is we'll go through and wash the rest of these parts out, and then do a reassembly. Reassembly is a reverse. We'll come back after you guys get everything cleaned up, washed, and dried out. What you want to do is you start your assembly. I'll show you guys. Look at the trigger group on this one. Remember how dirty it was? Look how nice it came out. And I didn't take it apart just because it's just a hassle. And we'll do another video when we show you take it apart. shotgun groups, or shotgun trigger groups, we use a little bit of powder blaster. So stuff is great, break free. Spray the heck out of it. You know, let it sit for a little bit. Go through with a brush, scrub it up, go back, rebrush it, respray it. Do it a couple times. That's what we would do with this thing. This thing was gunked up. I remember the follower here. Look at that, nice and clean now. And I just lightly oiled it up. Took a little bit of break free, went in, applied some oil at the base of the hammer here, at the sear point of contact. Anything you see move, just lube it up just a little bit. You don't need that much. Right over here where this, you know, down here by the safety, all that good stuff. Anything that you see move, just add just a tiniest amount of break free. That's what I use on some, you know, semi-auto stuff. So that way you won't have to worry about rust. But we did scrub the heck out of it. I didn't put this in water like I did with the other ones, just because I wasn't too keen on getting it wet if I couldn't take it apart and dry everything out. So, but I think it came out really well. Look how nice. Came out really good. Alright, now we'll start assembling. First thing I did was I assembled the stock back to the receiver. I know you guys didn't want to see me futzing with that, and that was fun because I don't have the proper equipment. But this is just a hollow ground screwdriver with a bunch of adapters on there that we used to put it so we can reach, because this thing's got to go all the way back in here, about that deep. Alright, let's see what we got next. Next thing, we'll put on the tube here. And this is what the ammo with your rounds get stored in. This thing is 2-piece. You put it in, and then you gotta, there's a set screw on here. So there we go. Just make sure you don't get this thing cross-threaded and you'll be alright. And again, we scrubbed everything, especially on the semi-autos, auto loaders. You want to keep this portion right here free of any type of lube. This is what the ejector spring rides on. And once you get that lubed up, it slows it down. So we tie that in as tight as it'll go, and then we just hand tighten this one. And you might want to use a rag or something, just because it does get a little iffy. There's a special wrench you can get, but I just use my AR wrench. And the AR wrench seems to kind of just grip it and work it in there. There we go. AR wrenches are pretty universal. These things are just a little bit off, but there we go. You're good. As long as it's hand tight, snug, you don't got to worry about anything. Let's see what's next. After that, let's put in our trigger group. Same thing with the trigger group. Kind of just slide it in, just like so. Line up the holes, drive your pins in. I like to use these we don't even need to use hammer. They just go in nice and snug. See that? Alright, so we got the trigger group in. Next, I always like to wipe it down as I work. A little neurotic like that. After that, let's put our bolt in. Alright guys, after you got everything washed and lubed up a bit, we're going to reassemble our gun. And most auto loaders, they follow about this, you know, give or take a little bit the same procedure for loading and for reloading, reassembly. And that is about it. You guys have any questions, comments? You want to see something special? Let me know. That's about how you take a somewhat kind of dirty semi-auto apart, kind of go through it, scrub it around, put it back together again. As always, go shooting, take a kid shooting, and join the NRA because they're the only ones fighting for our rights. Leave me a message if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns. Till next time.